In the world of comedy, few names evoke the kind of reverence that Phil Hartman does. A man of extraordinary talent, Hartman had an uncanny ability to transform himself into any character, leaving audiences laughing and longing for more. Born Philip Edward Hartman on September 24, 1948, in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, Hartman's life was a journey filled with creativity, humor, and, ultimately, tragedy. Known for his work on Saturday Night Live, SNL, The Simpsons, and News Radio, Hartman was a beloved figure whose career was cut tragically short in a shocking murder-suicide that left the entertainment world in mourning. Phil Hartman was the fourth of 8 children in a large, devout Catholic family. His parents, Doris and Rupert Hartman, emigrated from England and Germany, respectively, in search of a better life. The Hartman family's journey took them from Brantford, Ontario, to the sunny streets of Southern California when Phil was just 10 years old. The 1960s were a transformative time in America, and young Phil found himself captivated by the burgeoning television culture, a fascination that would later shape his career. Growing up in Westchester, a suburb of Los Angeles, Hartman was an ordinary kid with an extraordinary sense of humor. He was the class clown, always eager to entertain his friends and family. But comedy wasn't Hartman's first passion. After graduating from Westchester High School, he pursued a degree in graphic arts at California State University, Northridge. His talent for design was undeniable, and he quickly made a name for himself in the field, creating album covers for bands like America and Poco. But even as he found success in graphic design, there was a part of Hartman that longed for the stage. In the mid-1970s, Hartman's life took a pivotal turn when he joined the Groundlings, a Los Angeles-based improvisational and sketch comedy troupe. The Groundlings were known for nurturing some of the greatest comedic talents in the industry, and it was here that Hartman's comedic genius truly began to shine. His performances were magnetic, his timing impeccable, and his ability to create memorable characters was unparalleled. It was also at the Groundlings that Hartman forged a life-changing partnership with Paul Reubens, who would go on to create the character Pee Wee Herman. Together, they co-wrote the stage show The Pee Wee Herman Show, which later became a cult classic television series and film. Hartman's collaboration with Reubens marked the beginning of his journey into the world of television and film, setting the stage for the incredible career that was to follow. Phil Hartman's big break came in 1986 when he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live, SNL, a show that was the gold standard for sketch comedy. SNL was known for its rotating cast of comedians, but Hartman quickly distinguished himself as a versatile performer capable of taking on any role. His impersonations of public figures like Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, and Frank Sinatra were nothing short of legendary. Hartman's Clinton impression, in particular, became iconic, capturing not just the voice but the very essence of the 42nd President of the United States. Hartman's colleagues at SNL affectionately referred to him as the glue because of his ability to hold the show together. Whether playing a smarmy businessman, a clueless husband, or a sleazy lawyer, Hartman brought a unique energy to every sketch, often turning even the simplest lines into comic gold. He was the kind of performer who made everyone around him better, a rare quality that made him indispensable to the show's success. During his 8 seasons on SNL, Hartman not only performed but also contributed as a writer, crafting some of the show's most memorable sketches. His work earned him widespread acclaim, culminating in a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing in a Variety or Music Program in 1989. Hartman's tenure on SNL cemented his status as one of the greatest comedians of his generation, and his influence on the show is still felt today. After leaving SNL in 1994, Hartman seamlessly transitioned into television and film roles, proving that his talent was not confined to the sketch comedy format. One of his most beloved roles was that of Bill McNeil on the NBC sitcom News Radio. Hartman played the arrogant, self-absorbed radio news anchor with such charm and wit that he quickly became the standout character on the show. His chemistry with the rest of the cast, including Dave Foley and Maura Tierney, made News Radio a hit, and Hartman's performance remains one of the highlights of the series. Hartman's voice acting work also became a significant part of his legacy. He lent his distinctive voice to several characters on the animated hit The Simpsons, including the sleazy lawyer Lionel Hutz and the washed-up actor Troy McClure. These characters, brought to life by Hartman's impeccable voice work, became some of the most beloved figures on the show, and his contributions to The Simpsons are still celebrated by fans and creators alike. In addition to his television work, Hartman appeared in a number of films, often playing supporting roles that allowed his comedic talents to shine. Movies like House Guest, 1995, and Jingle All the Way, 1996, showcased Hartman's ability to bring humor to any situation, no matter how absurd. While he may not have been the leading man in these films, Hartman's performances were always memorable, adding depth and hilarity to every scene he was in. While Phil Hartman's professional life was one of success and acclaim, his personal life was far more complicated. He was married 3 times, with his first 2 marriages ending in divorce. His third marriage, to former model Bryn Omdahl, seemed like a storybook romance on the surface, but beneath the veneer of happiness lay a relationship fraught with difficulties. Bryn, whose real name was Vicky Jo Omdahl, struggled with substance abuse and mental health issues for much of her life. Despite her efforts to maintain a stable family life for their 2 children, Sean and Birgen, her struggles often put a strain on her marriage to Hartman. Friends and colleagues described Hartman as a loving husband and father, but also as someone who could be emotionally distant. His tendency to withdraw from conflict may have exacerbated the issues in his marriage, leaving Bryn feeling isolated and unsupported. The pressures of Hollywood, combined with the challenges of marriage and parenthood, took a toll on both Hartman and Bryn. Despite these struggles, Hartman remained a devoted father, and by all accounts, he adored his children. He was also a man who valued his privacy, often retreating from the public eye to spend time with his family and pursue his hobbies, which included painting and flying. The early hours of May 28, 1998, marked one of the darkest days in Hollywood history. That night, under the influence of alcohol, cocaine, and the antidepressant Zoloft, Bryn Hartman shot and killed Phil while he slept in their home in Encino, California. The details of that tragic night remain chilling. After the shooting, Bryn drove to a friend's house, where she confessed to the crime, but the gravity of her actions did not fully sink in until she returned home. As police arrived at the scene, Bryn locked herself in the bedroom where Phil's body lay and ended her life with a second gunshot. The murder-suicide sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and left Phil Hartman's fans in a state of disbelief. How could such a talented and beloved figure meet such a tragic end? The questions lingered, but the answers were elusive, rooted in the complex and painful dynamics of Hartman's marriage. The aftermath of the tragedy was devastating. Hartman's colleagues and fans were left to grapple with the loss of a man who had brought so much joy into their lives. SNL dedicated an entire episode to him, and his work on The Simpsons and News Radio was honored in special tribute episodes. Hartman's children, Sean and Birgen, were taken in by Bryn's sister and her husband, who raised them away from the public eye, providing them with the stability and love that their parents' lives had lacked. Despite the tragic circumstances of his death, Phil Hartman's legacy is one of laughter, creativity, and enduring influence. His work on Saturday Night Live remains some of the most celebrated in the show's history, and his characters on The Simpsons continue to be fan favorites. Hartman's ability to create fully realized, hilarious characters made him a standout performer, and his impact on the world of comedy is still felt today. Hartman's contributions to television, film, and voice acting were vast and varied, showcasing a talent that could adapt to any medium. His performances were marked by a unique blend of sharp wit, impeccable timing, and a deep understanding of the characters he portrayed. Whether he was playing a bumbling caveman lawyer or a washed-up actor in Springfield, Hartman brought an authenticity to his roles that made them unforgettable. Phil Hartman's life was a complex tapestry of triumphs and tragedies, and while his story ended in unimaginable sorrow, it is important to remember the joy he brought to millions. His work continues to inspire comedians and actors, and his legacy is a testament to the power of laughter in the face of life's challenges. Hartman was a man who understood the complexities of the human experience, and he used his talents to bring light into the world, even in the darkest of times.